Just because you have privilege doesn't mean you can talk in every conversation. There's a lot of people that are new to women's basketball. I'm one of them. I'm one of them. And I know that everybody's like, well, Bruce, you're a hypocrite. Aren't you doing the same thing that other people are doing? Yes and no. I've actually done a little bit of research before I started talking, and I've actually been following it. And I'm actually a basketball person. I used to coached high school for a while in my youth. It's pretty good. I've been coached by legendary coaches. Worked with legendary coaches. I know a little bit about basketball. Okay, so I know a little bit about a little bit. I don't know much about the WNBA. I will be honest. Finally started watching the WNBA sparsely over the last couple of years. And this year, I don't know that there's been an uptick in my viewing, but I would say by and large, that goes across the board with me in all sports. Just as I've gotten older, I've become less interested with sports and more interested in other things. So I don't think I've watched one NBA Finals game, and there's been four of them. There's one tonight. I might not even watch that one. This might be the game clincher one. So what is all the fuss about with Caitlin Clark? I think a lot of it has to do with race. So, like I said, a lot of people entering this conversation that don't know what they're talking about. There's a lot of new eyeballs to the WNBA specifically for because of Caitlin Clark, which is good for the WNBA if it translates into not just people watching her being her fans, but if her fans spill off and become fans of the WNBA, which can only happen if she is playing well and talented, and because the more she's playing, the more talented, the deeper she's playing in the playoffs and maybe winning championships, the more visible the entire league will be because there'll be more primetime games because it's Caitlin Clark. So she is definitely bringing eyeballs to the league, and it's some people who are just curious. Some people, like I said, because she's white, they look at her as the great white hope, and I don't know if there's necessarily anything wrong with white people looking at her and being amazed at the anomaly of a white person that's at least dominated college basketball, which is still predominantly black. Nowhere near as predominantly black as the WNBA. WNBA is black, black. With college basketball, I think the University of Iowa, the team she played on, had like two black players. So, there's a little bit more diversity in the college game than there is in the WNBA. And the WNBA is just it's pretty much majority, not all, but like 98% or close to it, like black. So for her to come into the league, the way she dominated college basketball, they would think that would translate immediately into the WNBA. That's not yet. It has not yet. And it may not. She may not dominate the WNBA like she did college basketball. She may never get to to that level, but she could be a very, very good player for a long time. The problem is with all these new eyeballs, with not just white people, but also men. This is another demographic of people with privilege that are new to the game, but that have such a strong opinion and want to voice their strong opinion on what's going on now. So with all these new eyeballs, everybody's an expert on what the game is when they've never been watching it. And they feel like that she should be on the team because one, popularity, right? Like she's going to bring more eyeballs to these Olympics if she's on the team. There's only a problem with that is say that they put her on the team undeservingly, but because she is so popular, she's not going to play that much. Right? So all her fans are going to do is get agitated that she isn't playing that much, unless they just blow out teams all the time. And then she's going to get garbage time. And her fans still wouldn't be, happy with that. And oh, by the way, let's point out why she isn't quite good enough to be on this Olympic team. What are her stats this year for a rookie season? She's averaging 16.8 points. That stat alone, if you're just looking at points, she's averaging almost 17 points a game, and you say, that's pretty doggone good. She's having a good season. And you say, well, she's averaging 5 rebounds a game. That's a lot. She's doing really well. And she's averaging 6 assists a game. Hey, once again, you're looking at the stats and you say, I don't understand why she isn't on the team, right? These stats are pretty good. They're not top 24, top 30 stats, but they're pretty good stats.
If you like that clip, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to catch up on all of our latest content. Don't forget to hit the notification button when you do subscribe so you can get updated every time we release content. We release content every day, whether it's an actual show or clips from the shows. So go ahead and subscribe, like, comment. Also, don't forget our Patreon page where you can find our Talking Straight-ish and After Hours Uncensored episodes. That's patreon.com/Unsolicited Perspectives. But once again, thank you again for listening to Unsolicited Perspectives. I'm your host, Bruce Anthony, and I'm going to catch you next time. I'll holla.